Kansas City Chiefs, keys to victory. Guys, I have been watching, obviously, a lot of Kansas City Chiefs film for the last week, and I've also been following while watching a Philadelphia Eagles film as well, right? And I've been seeing what they're doing well, what they're doing bad, and all this other stuff. Obviously, I am not an NFL coach, but I am a high-level high school coach, and I was a college coach as well. So I kind of know what I'm talking about when I see things on the field, right? So what do you guys think the Kansas City Chiefs have to do to win this game? What do the Kansas City Chiefs have to do to win this game? First key for the Kansas City Chiefs in this game versus the Philadelphia Eagles on Super Bowl 59 is you need to get Hollywood Brown involved early and often. Hollywood Brown has not been on the field all regular season. This postseason, I think he's been targeted twice, maybe 3 times if I'm not mistaken. But you brought Hollywood Brown in, meeting the Kansas City Chiefs. You guys brought Hollywood Brown in to stretch the field, to be that number 1 receiver. Now that Rashid Rice is gone, and you have D-Hop and Hollywood Brown, you have a really true double threat on the outside. So key number 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs is get Hollywood Brown involved early and often. I'm not saying he has to catch 15 balls or 10 balls or get 15 targets, but I want you to run routes to strictly for him. Strictly one-man routes for Hollywood Brown. Now you have your outlet in Travis Kelce and Worthy, and Patrick Mahomes can scramble, which if Patrick Mahomes gets 40 more yards, I win $1,000, but get Hollywood Brown early and often. Key number 2 is once you start getting the ball to Hollywood Brown, once you start getting, and that safety starts to creep up a little bit on Hollywood Brown, then you start spreading the ball around. Then you start getting your guys in there. Travis Kelce, the man, the zone killer man himself. Then you start getting TK involved. Once you start getting TK involved, bada bing, bada boom, that safety drop down even more. Then I open up to Hollywood Brown, D-Hop. D-Hop only has 3 targets all postseason with 1 catch for 3 yards. It would not shock me one bit if D-Hop becomes the MVP because of getting the ball to Hollywood Brown early, and then Travis Kelce exploits him in the 3rd quarter and 4th quarter, all about DeAndre Hopkins, right? Boom, 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 right? Key number 3, keep Patrick Mahomes upright. The less sacks, the hits, the better for the Kansas City Chiefs. If you can keep players like Jalen Carter and is Graham playing? Brandon Graham, I know he's back from IR, and I expect him to be some type of impact on 3rd down or something. But Patrick Mahomes needs to be upright. No sacks, no hits. Just let him do his thing, right? Let him do his thing. And key number 4 for the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Philadelphia Eagles in this game is to force the Eagles to pass the ball. Now, you are not going to be able to shut down Saquon Barkley. You can contain him, like I said earlier, but you want to force the Eagles to pass the ball. So therefore, how you force the Eagles to pass the ball is to win on 1st down. When you win on 1st down, you're looking at 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8. If it's 2nd and 8 plus, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win that drive, win that series, right? If it's 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, the Phillies will more than likely get a 1st down on that drive. So you want to force the Eagles to pass the ball by winning on 1st down. So my 4 keys to the Kansas City Chiefs victory this week is to get Hollywood Brown the ball early and often. So then key number 2 is that then you're able to spread the ball around to D-Hop, Travis Kelce. Sky Moore can be possibly making a comeback. He is listed as doubtful, but he could potentially play. Get Worthy involved, right? Get P. Ryan involved in the backfield. That would be awesome. Key number 3, keep Patrick Mahomes upright. If you can keep Patrick Mahomes upright, you are going to win this game. And of course, number 4 is win on 1st down, force Eagles to pass the ball. So guys, those are my keys to the victory for the Kansas City Chiefs in this Super Bowl thing. So what do you guys think? Do you guys agree, disagree? What else? My man David Smith says you got to contain Saquon Barkley. David, you are absolutely right. Absolutely right. Many teams have been able to, when I say many teams, let's just rephrase it. A handful of teams have been able to contain Saquon Barkley for a series here, a series there, maybe a quarter, potentially maybe a half. But what Saquon Barkley does so well is he Do you remember that movie? Remember the Titans? And it's just like you just got to keep pounding it, keep pounding it. And Kellen Moore and the Philadelphia Eagles have done that very, very well, despite maybe a bad first quarter, despite maybe a bad first half. Once the third quarter, fourth quarter rolls around, Saquon Barkley's still getting the ball. He's still eating. So you definitely need to contain Saquon Barkley to 90% of the game and no big runs. No big runs over 40 yards, right? Raw Dog Randy's in the chat. Says Eagles should win, but no way they score 42. And Raw Dog, I kind of agree with you, right? I see a lot of high score predictions, right? I see a lot of 35 to 40, 45 to what 19 is like is what the West Philly Black said, right? I see a lot of high scores. And Raw Dog, I'm kind of with you on this. A 28 to 20, 24-20 score would probably be right in the wheelhouse because we've got two really good defenses. We have two fairly good offenses, right? The Eagles' passing game is terrible stat-wise, but the rushing game is often is great. I should say, and the Kansas City Chiefs' offense is right there in the center, right? 15th and 16th in pretty much every major stat category. So I anticipate a low-scoring defensive kind of slugfest until late in the fourth quarter when Patrick Mahomes does some magic. Maybe Jalen Hurts gets a big pass to A.J. Brown. So it would not shock me one bit if we have a 17 to 10, 14 to 10 score going into the fourth quarter and it ends up being 28-20. So I think, Raw Dog, you are about spot on. My man Alpha Rob's in the chat today. What's up, Alpha Rob? What's up? And like Alpha Rob says, the Eagles do not fear Hollywood Brown Buck, and they shouldn't. To be honest, they should not fear Hollywood Brown. But he has the ability to stretch the field. He has the know-how and history of stretching fields, right? And if you happen to get him on a deep post or a deep types of routes, or maybe even just some slant routes and hook and curls and digs and like all that stuff, if you're able to get him the ball, that will shift the safeties over. That might bring the line. They might start to bring more pressure now because, you know, Patrick Mahomes is getting the ball out quick. Boom, boom, boom. Now you got to bring linebacker pressure to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. And that's when Travis Kelce starts to excel. That's when the possessive receiver of D-Hop starts to excel. So I'm not saying you should fear Hollywood Brown, meaning they're going to double team him all game long. No. I'm saying get him the ball early. So that's in the back of their mind. So then they start to bring pressure, shift the safety over, because you got to make in-game adjustments. And I think that is what they'll end up doing. Raw Dog Randy says D-Hop is done. D-Hop was drafted back in 2013 with Travis Kelce, actually. So I mean, he has been in the league for a while. However, Raw Dog, there are times in your career where you get a little spark in your step, right? There are times in your career where you can be 50 years old, but for 60 minutes, boom, you're feeling 20 again, right? I'm 35, right? I'm 36. I just had a birthday. So I am 36, right? So I wake up like groggy, slipping around in like the chairs and like whatnot. But if I go to the beach, if I go to the boat, if I go drinking out with the boys, if I'm at a football practice, right, I feel 20 again for about 2 hours. Now, the next day, I'm feeling it. But this Super Bowl might be D-Hop's kind of like little shot of adrenaline, right? That just a little steroid boost, right? Boom, he is there. And I don't think he's ran out of juice. I just think people respect him, so they're double teaming him a lot. But yes, he has definitely had a bad postseason. 1 catch for 3 yards is pretty bad. But we will see. We'll see in about 72 hours, right? Alpha Rob says the problem with Brown is he's not a good route runner. He's easy to take out of the game. You are exactly right, Alpha Rob. You want to know who else is not a very good route runner? Travis Kelce. Terrible route runner. Probably the worst route runner in the NFL. You know who else is not a very good route runner? Tyreek Hill. Let's just be honest. The only thing good about Tyreek Hill is he's fast. He can do all like 15 moves and try to get open. Tyreek Hill's not a very good route runner. Travis Kelce's not a very good route runner. Hollywood Brown fits into that system just right. But just because you're not a very good route runner does not mean that him and Patrick Mahomes have not been working all year long. Yes, I understand he hasn't played in the regular season, but he's been at practice. They've been throwing the ball around. They knew their long-term goal. They knew they would be here. So don't be worried about his route running. Worry about his getting open ability, right? Let's think about it positively. Josh Olson says Mahomes just has to be himself and be clutch. He always comes through in the biggest moments. Josh, you are exactly right. Patrick Mahomes is the best situational quarterback. Hands down. He could have 15 interceptions in a game, having thrown for 50 yards and been sacked 12 times. But if it's 2 minutes left in a game, if it's 1 minute left in a game, if it's 13 seconds left in a game, Buffalo Bills fans, there is no other quarterback that I want the ball in the hands. That's Patrick Mahomes. Now, I'm not trying to dog Lamar Jackson. I'm not trying to dog Matthew Stafford or Josh Allen, but I'm saying Patrick Mahomes is the best situational quarterback out there, hands down. If you're in a situation saying, you got to score me a touchdown, he is going to score you a touchdown or get you in that field goal range, right? He just knows how to do it. Robbie's in the chat. What's up, Robbie? Hollywood Brown couldn't stretch a rubber band right now. Robbie, I think you are mistaken. Let's flash back to the Buffalo Bills game. Hollywood Brown stretched that Buffalo Bills defense. He ran a little chair route right up the middle. Patrick Mahomes hit it on his money, and he definitely stretched that defense. He can definitely still stretch that. Alpha Rob says, I see what you're saying, Buck, but Kelce reads the defense better than and teams fear Tyreek Hill. You are exactly right. I am not saying that Hollywood Brown's presence on the field or poor route running is equivalent to Travis Kelce's or Tyreek Hill's. I kind of want to put them on that same level, but it is the kind of the situations, right? He is able to run some zigzag routes and just maybe find the open zone. So we're going to see a good game. GT Gods says Chris Jones got to lock in against Saquon. And GT Gods, as I agree with you, I think Chris Jones is going to have a monster game if the Kansas City Chiefs win. However, do not expect to see a lot of tackles for 4 losses. Do not expect to see a lot of sacks. Do not see a lot of Chris Jones chasing down the field. If I'm Steve Spagnuolo, my defensive game plan is to break the line of scrimmage, sit and squeeze. Squeeze the B gas, squeeze the A gas, forcing Saquon Barkley east and west. Because it doesn't matter if you run a 4-1 or a 4-6. If you're running east and west, a 5 flat linebacker can come get you. That is what I expect to see. Now, on the other side of this matchup,